Welcome to the AWE Breakfast Show, featuring LG. Here's your host, Sean Hannam.
Good morning. Well, welcome to the AWE Breakfast Show. Yeah, that's right. My name's Sean Hannam, and I'm a freelance journalist. And I've been writing about tech, retail, and music for almost 20 years. It's crazy, isn't it? That's why I've got a massive, long grey beard and not very little hair. I'm your host for this week's AWE Breakfast Show sessions at EI Live Interactive. Now, as part of this virtual week-long event for the home tech sector, I'm talking to industry representatives from brands including Sony, Ring, URC, Epson, Denon, Marantz, and Definitive Technology from Sound United, LG, and also, of course, AWE. Now, towards the end of our session, we'll be holding an interactive Q&A with our guests, and there will be the chance for you, the viewers and the listeners, to send in your questions for the panel during the show. So get thinking about what you want to ask them. And in order to do that, you have to maximize your computer screen, go to the viewers control panel on the webinar platform where you could submit the questions during the show, and then we'll discuss them with the panel at the end of the session. So get your thinking caps on. I've got mine on already. So for this morning's half-an-hour session, I'm joined by representatives from LG and AWE. And today we're talking TV, and we're looking at the benefits of LG's products for both integrators and consumers. We'll be discussing why LG's TVs are ideal for gaming, highlighting some current trends and looking at where the TV market's heading in the future. Hopefully LG can share its vision of the next few years with us. Now I'd like to introduce my guests. Firstly, from LG, we have Dean Little, Training Manager, and from AWE, we're joined by Sales Director Paul Mott. Now, morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
How's it going?
All good. Bit cold, but good.
Good. So you're joining us from LG, I'm assuming, Dean, as you've got a LG TV on the wall behind you with a Which Award I can see on the top as well.
Now this is my bedroom. This is the way I like my bedroom. I'm very on brand at home. Yeah, I'm in lovely Weybridge at the moment, stuck in what looks like a broom cupboard as we're refitting parts. But yes, here at LG.
Cool. Can you give us a little bit of a background on how long you've been with LG and your kind of experience in the CE industry, Dean?
So I've been in this industry since I left school, so I won't tell you how long that is, but I've been in the industry over 30 years. So I started off in a little independent, working through there and Sony centres, and then ended up at LG 13 years ago. So I've been at LG 13 years. So I've seen technology change over that time. I've seen LG change over that time and seen a lot of good changes for the positive. So yeah, quite a long time in the industry, but it's one of them things that you don't get bored with because it's always changing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Paul, you've been in the industry a long time as well. You're joining us from AWE, aren't you, this morning in Epsom? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, it's not quite sunny Epsom today, but it's a lovely, crisp autumnal day out there. Maybe a little bit brighter later. So, but yes, industry for a long time. My working career started in a record shop, but so my passion was sort of kind of fueled by music to start off with, and then I joined BT in Business Communications London, selling phone systems, and then this opportunity came up at a company called AWE, and obviously this year it's 85 years young. I say young because I think it's an innovative company along with technology changes. So my first day at AWE, we had technology like rear projection television and Laserdisc and just about ProLogic at that time. So I obviously started when I was very, very young, but as technology moves forward, benefits and this whole home integration market really started to accelerate. We're going to be talking about TV today. Obviously, it was quite a jump from big screen rear projection to what was called flat panel, but in actual fact, the product wasn't terribly flat. So I've seen that innovation in design and technology and performance across many years. And as the technology's jumped, also AWE's progressed in the industry. So we've concentrated on being that specialist distributor training. And we've got a great sales team, some young people in that team as well. So we get new ideas as much as we understand and have experience in the industry ourselves.
Dean, you touched on the kind of changes in LG. For anyone who doesn't know about this massive Korean consumer electronics home appliance company, can you just give us in a nutshell a little bit about LG, you know, its corporate kind of background and what it does kind of?
Yes, I mean, for people that don't know LG, but I'm sure most of you do now, is, you know, you may remember in the old days that Gold Star brand, which, you know, was the cheap and cheerful brand. I used to have a Gold Star TV as a kid and stuff. And, you know, it's a lot of people see LG as a new brand, as a new company, but they've actually been going since the 40s. So, you know, a lot of the misconceptions people have of LG about oh, they're a new brand and stuff like that. It's actually, we've been going for a very long time. And a lot of the innovation you're seeing now across not just TV, but across consumer electronics in general and home appliances starts from LG. So I think the key thing for us is we're a brand that you may not see as many adverts from us, but it's because we spend a big chunk of our money on R&D. And this is where you see things like OLED and the innovation come through. So, we're developing the new next products rather than, necessarily just putting big adverts out. We're saying, okay, what's next? What does the consumer want? And the other key thing with that is actually the features we put on. Our motto is life's good, and it is about what enhances your customer's life. It's not a case of we'll put it on just because we can and we can say it's a feature. Everything we do within our product is making sure that actually it does have a relevance and improve your lifestyle. So, over the years, you've seen this, as I say, change from being, a bit of a chaser brand to the point now where, with the likes of OLED and NanoCell, that we're actually a leader in especially, TV, but across all the business units that we utilize. And it's not just TV and home appliances. LG are involved in face cream, beauty products. They bought the Avon brand in America last year. Sorry?
Wearing it today.
Yes, yeah. Well, we do hair restore as well, but obviously forgot to put that on, that one. But there's so many facets of LG that people don't realise that they're, that we're involved in. So as a brand, it's, a massive, massive company. But as I say, it's about bringing them innovative products to life, but making sure that it's something that your customer can utilise.
So we're here to talk about TVs today. So Dean, let's talk about some of the highlights in the range. Also, we're keen to hear about why the products are particularly appealing to the home integrator market. So can you tell us about some of the range and the features that are useful for installers?
So we've got a range of products, and the good thing with our range is it covers the small sizes, from the 32-inch screen sizes all the way up to, the 88-inch OLEDs and the NanoCell LED TVs. So hopefully for the customers, it's a range of products that will fit every single need, whether it's an entry-level TV for the bedroom or whether it's that high-end OLED that they want to put on the wall. For us, obviously, the focus is on the OLED area, but within UHD, we do what we call our NanoCell TVs. Now, the good thing with our NanoCell TVs is that these are LED-based TVs, but they're enhanced LED. So with the NanoCell range, this is about giving you more accurate colours. It takes out the colour that we don't need. So the example we always use is if you were looking at a Coca-Cola can, which is a specific red, if you put down a TV that just makes the picture more vivid, you're still getting the wrong red. So with NanoCell, it's about making them colours accurate. So our NanoCell range has a series of dots in front of the screen, which takes out the unwanted colour. As well as that, it improves the viewing angle because we realise that, it's not normally just one person watching a TV. So viewing angle becomes important. We've all done it. If we've sat on the side of a chair, you get that picture moves. I sit in my living room and I'm on the edge and the wife sits dead centre. We was watching a drama the other week and she just jumped up and went, what is it? She said, oh, I can see the killer lurking in the shadows. But where I was sitting, I couldn't see that. And that's what NanoCell avoids. It's all well and good having a TV that quotes, massive colour and that, but if you lose that colour as soon as you move off. So our NanoCell range is about accurate colour and good viewing angle. So as you can see on the screen here, we've got quite a range of NanoCell TVs that sit within it with a range of sizes. And as you move up, you're gaining features like Dolby Atmos sits within it, Dolby Vision on the HDR side, as well as our really good, and we'll talk about this probably a little bit more in detail, is our ThinQ system, which works the Google and Alexa system, makes it really easy to find the content you want. And then as you go up our NanoCell range, you can see that we then move into our 8K models as well. So introducing 8K into our LED TVs, which is really important now because with the next generation gaming and 8K from YouTube, that kind of comes along as well. But our big piece is, sorry?
The OLED. Yeah, I was going to ask about the OLED because you've been backing that for a number of years, haven't you? That you've really championed and you were really spearheading the OLED when it first launched, really.
Exactly. We've been working on OLED as a project since the 90s. So it's something that's been really dear for us, and we've, you've seen it evolve over the years. So again, it's starting to now become a customer focus where, 5-6 years ago, we was probably going into store saying, you want an OLED TV? And they're like, what's OLED? We're now starting to see customers actually go, I want an OLED TV. I've got so many friends now message me going, I want an OLED, where before I used to have to try and convince them what is an OLED and why is it so good. So the good thing of OLED for us is obviously we've got the benefit of, because it doesn't have backlight, we can do so much with the design of it. So you've got, first of all, the design element. It's very slim, and we'll talk about that when we talk about our G series and our W series. But there are many benefits of OLED above and beyond that. So, you know, we've talked about viewing angle, but OLED has a 178-degree viewing angle, so you get that same picture no matter where you are in the room. But I think where OLED really shines, or not shines, but is its black levels.
Yeah.
Because it's self-lit pixels, you know, you don't get any of that haloing effect at all. So literally, a black is a proper black. You know, last year, I don't know how many of you guys watched Game of Thrones, but there was that issue with the last series of Game of Thrones where it was really, really black, and people were going, I can't see it, what's happening? But then we saw people going, well, I've got an OLED TV and it looked fine on that. So that ability to deliver that really good black has taken specifically movies and drama, but all content to a really good level. So for us, the black level of OLED is a key thing, the design, and obviously the fact that the blacks are really good brings the color out as well. It makes them colors more vivid. So we've increased the OLED range this year. We've also introduced some new sizes as well, which is really good for us. So you can see on the screen, we start with our B series, which, although we say it's entry level, it gives you all them great features that the OLED can give you, with the viewing angle, with the perfect blacks, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, you know, filmmaker mode, all that sort of stuff. The C10 series, that appears as CX on the screen, it is, I can assure you, C10. I get told off so many times for calling it CX. Now it gives you a range of sizes. So you can go 77-inch, so you can go bigger. But for the first time, I've introduced 48-inch OLED as well. So that was something every chat I'd done, I was always getting asked, when are you doing smaller OLED? When are you doing smaller OLED? So now we've got that ability to introduce a 48-inch OLED for houses that maybe wouldn't be able to fit in a 55, or for gamers that want it in their spare room, because as we're saying, we're talking about how good it is for gaming. And then you move up to the G10 and the W10.
Earlier you sort of said more consumers are getting kind of aware of OLED and talking about it. Now, one of your rivals, Samsung's been championing QLED technology. Is that kind of confusing for consumers? And what would you say are the kind of differences between your technology, the OLED, and the QLED that your rivals are championing?
Well, yeah, it is confusing, and it's not from our part. Obviously, QLED wasn't always called QLED until probably OLED started dominating, but we won't go into that one. But yeah, I mean, for us, I think, as we just talked about, our nanocell TVs are probably more our equivalent of their QLED TVs because of the way it works. QLED TVs, at the end of the day, are an LED TV, so they still have the restrictions on black levels, viewing angles that LED TVs have. I'd say with OLED, what we've got is the benefit that we're delivering that perfect black that any LED, whether it's an enhanced LED or whether it's a normal LED, can't deliver. So the detail in darker areas is above and beyond what other LED TVs can deliver. And then we've also mentioned that viewing angle, you know, so if you do want to watch it with your family, with your friends, you know, if you want to invite your friends around after lockdown, OLED's delivering that viewing angle. So for us, OLED is a new technology, where the other QLED is an enhancement on LED technology. So it's innovation, but then giving them extra details, black levels that LED can't deliver, angles that LED can't deliver, slimness and design that LED can't deliver. So there's a lot of stuff in OLED that, as much as we try and push LED, there's still limitations on it.
You talked about gaming as well. You touched on that earlier. So let's talk about that, because you kind of champion these TVs as kind of perfect for you know, for current gaming and also next gen gaming as well. So what makes LG's TVs so good for gaming?
Well, it's a massive range of features on our OLED TV specifically, which makes them perfect. And you know, even as recently as this week, we've just announced our partnership with the Xbox Series X. So you know, Microsoft have teamed up with us because they are confident that our TVs can bring their next gen consoles to life. Now, there's a lot of features within it that we can deliver that other TVs can't deliver. I mean, the first thing is things like the input lag. You know, for gamers, and I don't know how many of you guys are gamers, milliseconds make a big difference. You press a button, and if it doesn't happen on the screen, you know, someone shot you and you're out of the game. So milliseconds make a difference. So the input lag on OLEDs is 13 milliseconds, and that's half the time of our competitors' OLEDs. So what it means now is, you know, milliseconds might not sound a lot, but that's giving you the advantage by buying LG's OLED TV over another TV. So there's a number of different things that gamers look for when they're looking. They're looking for great picture quality, they're looking for great connectivity, and they're also looking for what's going to give them better gameplay. And we've got a range of features within our range that basically give you all them. So whether it's down to things like the black level, as I say, which lets you see that person in the corners when they're shooting, whether it's HDMI 2.1, and this is a key area for us, is that connectivity. You know, the new consoles will, and some of the top end PCs as well, utilize a lot of the features that are on HDMI 2.1. Now, some TVs will have 2.1 features, Some will have it on just one input. LG's OLED TVs, the C10 and above, all the HDMI sockets are HDMI 2.1. So what it means is you don't have to, if you do get a PS5 and an Xbox, you're not got to go, which one's my favorite, which goes in the best socket. So we can support all the things like VRR, ER and stuff like that on all of the sockets. So that's the starting point, is I can connect it up wherever I want.
Yeah.
The other key thing for us is to do with a smooth gameplay. So again, you may, if you're a gamer, you realize sometimes you move and your screen splits and screen tearing. And this is down to the frame rates not matching up. The frame rate of the console varies, the frame rate of the TV is quite fixed. So there's a number of different technologies on the market which will change that. So there's things like G-Sync, there's VRR, and there's FreeSync. Now, these are normally features that you see on a top-end gaming monitor.
Right, okay.
But LG have actually put that into our OLED TVs. And we're the only brand that has G-Sync and FreeSync and VRR, so all three formats. So what that means is your gamer doesn't, again, have to pick and choose. It may be that you've got a high-end PC that uses VRR, but your TV doesn't support it. Or it might be that you've got, an Xbox that supports FreeSync, but your TV only supports the other one. So for gamers, it's a case of, I'm going to get that smooth gameplay, which again makes a difference between winning and losing. It doesn't matter what console you got, what PC you got, what console you're going to get. LG TV will kind of look after that for them, which is a key thing.
Paul, I'd like to bring
on
you
top of that.
Yeah, Paul. Dean sort of touched earlier on AI, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The capabilities of a TV. Are you finding that more people are kind of using TVs as a kind of hub of a smart home or an ecosystem? Whereas when smart TVs first came out, people were kind of using them with a few apps, weren't they, and kind of catch up. But they're becoming more of a hub of the home now, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the TV delivers a lot of content, and we're seeing that content move between providers. So if the TV can deliver all the services, then that's great, because it then becomes the focal point. I think, picking up on what Dean has said for the integrator market, what's really important is that choice that he mentioned, choice of sizes, choice of screen technologies, but also that it's controllable, because in an integrated home, we're looking at control systems being able to interface and delivering the content easily. So this is not picking up 4 remote controls. This is making one button push, get you to the place that you want to. And it's not just about home cinema on TV, it's about gaming, which is massively important, I think, to the TV market going forward. But also for our integrators, it's a very much consultative sale. So they're advising people on the product that they should put into their homes. They want that to be easy to use and deliver the content. But the sale doesn't happen on a TV arriving, a bracket arriving. It's about planning, and our installers will work with builders and interior designers, and they'd want the product to fit into the home easily. So what's very important with the team at LG is that we've got CAD drawings for all of the products, and we publish those on our website, so an installer can take a specification, work out what he needs to fit that product on a wall or a piece of cabinetry really easily, way before the TV arrives on site. So you've got that kind of security. And in particular, I'm going to call it GX. I think it sounds better than G10. So I don't work for LG. They can't tell me off. But it's an absolute star product for the integrator market. And I can say from personal experience, James and I hung the TV. It's behind that shoulder. It's showing some sunny scenes today to brighten our days. But we put that on the wall, and it's a fantastic product for the integrator market. It's where LG have listened, and they've brought a product that works so well for integrators. I think that's, Dean, it's a bit of a star in the range anyway, but for our market.
Yeah. Dean, I wanted to ask you a bit about some of the training support as well, because you have this online training facility, the LG Lounge, don't you? Which sounds quite cool, doesn't it? I have this vision of everyone sat around in a kind of lounge, smoking jackets, cigarette holders, all watching giant OLED TVs. But can you tell us a bit about
That's what we do just outside.
Yeah. Can you tell us what's kind of available for integrators, and installers and retailers as a backup, I guess, training and also after sales support?
I think this is the key thing for us is, we've got some great product. As, Paul just mentioned, the G10 is a great design product, with that flush wall mount. But unless we tell you guys what it does, how to, explain the features, how to get to the features, it's quite hard. So as you mentioned, we've got the LG Lounge, which is our online training portal. And this is the one-stop place for all the information. We'd love to be able to get around to everybody and show them these features. Obviously, at the moment, that's quite restrictive and quite hard. So everything has gone, digital and online, and this is where the LG Lounge really comes in. So all the product features are on there. You can just go on, and if there's something you're not sure on, whether it's a G10 model specifically, or whether it's a feature such as filmmaker mode, you can go on, find out what it is, get an idea of exactly what the functions are and how to access it. There's video tutorials on there to talk you through how to access them, as well as like online tests and competitions. There's products on there as well. So if you want to see the product specs, how many USBs does this TV have? How many HDMIs? You can go on and you can quickly check as well. And then there's the fun element. So as well as all that in the videos, we've got the ability to add competitions and games for you as well. We've got a nice Christmas one coming up so you can win stuff. But more importantly, it's that place where if you're in store, we can't get to you. If you just want to quickly find out some information about the LG product, it's there, whether it's on your phone, your tablet, or your laptop. Quick access to the information that the guys need. So as Paul said, it's consultative sale. We want to make sure that we're selling the right TV to that customer. So that information needs to be there. So the LG Lounge is key for that.
You touched on the kind of challenges of getting out to see people, retailers and installers and during COVID. Looking at the bigger picture, how do you think COVID has affected the kind of TV market? Paul, how do you see that initially? What has your feedback been?
I think it's people focusing on the home, and that's family home, and it's sharing. Entertainment's become a key part. The television's become a portal really into the outside world. Whether it's film, gaming, music you like, it's the way that you can get entertainment where outside of the home, unfortunately, these places are closed. So the investment is definitely there in, I call them media rooms rather than home cinema, because home cinema gives the impression we just like watching films. We don't. We like watching TV and sport and gaming.
Yeah.
So that's as a shared experience in the home. It's something that demands that we've seen lately, and it seems to be ongoing, that the home is that focus, and therefore the TV, the cinema room is an important part of that home.
Is that what you've seen, Dean, as well? What's the kind of feedback you're getting from sales of TVs?
Yeah, sales of TV has gone through the roof. It's one of these things that, as Paul said, people are indoors, so they want whatever's indoors to be the important bit. We saw at the beginning in the first lockdown, people were just going out and buying a TV. So we saw a massive uplift on the entry level models and some of the cheaper brands. And then I think as people realised, I'm going to be in for longer, and also realised that they're not spending money on a holiday this year, we've then started to see the more premium models start to take over. So, last 10 months has been a continuous growth in sales where the market's up, over 40%. But what you're starting to see massively is now the premium model. So, for us and for the install market, it's their models at 55-inch and above are now starting to grow. So, that's over 50% up. And the £1,500 and above, which is where the models like OLED sit, that's 80% up year on year. So we've seen that shift from I just want a TV to actually I now realise, first of all, I want a good TV. But as we were talking about earlier, a lot of the movies are now starting to come straight to streaming. So where people would go to cinema, so they want to watch that movie in the best quality possible. So they're now starting to consider their purchase more and start buying a more premium TV indoors. So we're seeing that shift of massive sales, but cheaper, moving now to the premium models. And it's also stock situation now is kind of, we're selling as many as we can get in.
Yeah. So briefly, looking ahead, where do you see the future of TV? Dean, you've sort of unveiled a rollable TV at things like CES and IFA. When can we expect the rollable T to roll out?
It's available now in Korea, in the Korean market, but you should hopefully start seeing that at some point very, very soon. There we go, nice on screen, the R10, as it currently is called. So this is a game changer, because as we said, OLED doesn't have that backlight. We can start rolling it around, and if you've seen this in the flesh, I know Sean, like myself, you've been to Korea and seen it in the flesh. It's an amazing piece of kit, and again, for the home install market, it's amazing because you can just roll it away. So now where we're placing the TV changes. You can place it in front of a window, roll the TV down, look at your view across wherever it is, and then when you watch TV, roll it up. So this is where the innovation with OLED starts, is this design element. We can do a lot with the design. But you're going to see over the next few years, there's so much more we can do with OLED, but also screen size wise, we can do a lot with it. And then there's other technologies coming along as well. So, you can see screen technologies just to improve LED as well. You know, we're working hard to see what we can do enhance LED. You know, whether that's things through like mini LED and stuff like that, you probably see further down the line. But OLED for us at the moment is the key one because of what you can do design-wise with it. So, as we say, we're about innovation. So it's constantly pushing the boundaries of what we can do with TV.
Yeah, I guess also that's quite a good offering for installations, because it can change how an installation is, and the design of the TV isn't always based. The design of a room, sorry, isn't always based around the TV being in the corner or on the wall. It kind of gives it more scope, doesn't it? So it opens up for some interesting kind of interpretations and installations. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I think they're particularly the kind of hidden cinema. People want a big screen experience, but they don't want that big screen to dominate their room. And hiding that or automating that, it's a big part of the install market, building cabinets or walls where TVs disappear when they're not in use. But the likelihood is, very much that on track for bigger screen sizes, higher resolution content, you can do it. And deliver more content in that resolution, it's worth investing in a bigger screen.
We're coming up towards the end of the show, but I'd like to ask James Drummond at AW, he's coming in a minute, just to join us to find out what questions we've had from the viewers. But I'm going to very quickly, tell us some of those favourite TV shows that you've been enjoying during lockdown. Dean, you first. What have you been watching recently on your OLED?
I wish I had an OLED. Unfortunately not. I had this one at home during lockdown, but it's had to come back. For me, I'm a massive Star Wars fan as a kid, so I've been watching Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
It's been a popular this week,
Yeah, I think even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you can kind of get into it. It's kind of got a very Western feel, but the cinematography on it is amazing. You know, it's like a lot of programs now. They're filmed really well. And the other one is I don't know if you've seen it, Millions, which is all about how they've been fiddling the McDonald's Monopoly game. The mafia got involved many years ago, and that's quite an interesting documentary on Sky.
Quickly, Paul.
Well, I'm a keen fisherman, so I managed to get out and do a bit of fishing even during lockdown. But there's a great program if you're not a fisherman, Gone Fishing with Bob Mortimer on White House. It just gives an insight onto people out and about and a conversation. The star, I think, from the shows I've seen is a program called Staged, which was a small comedy series with David Tennant and Michael Sheen about actors trying to cope with theatres not being open and rehearsing. Which I think comes to a second series. So there's
I'm going to ask now James to join us, someone who's no stranger to the stage himself. So James, have you had any questions come in, James, from any of the viewers?
Question here about apps. Sorry, Dean, not a great one for you, but where's the ITV hub?
Okay, as you can see, we've not got the ITV hub on at the moment. So Freeview Play wasn't on this year's models. We're working individually with all of the individual app suppliers, so the likes of BBC and ITV. So you saw BBC iPlayer come back recently, so we've got that on. We are working with the others, ITV and Channel 4, and so you should see them coming on very, very soon. So if your customer is looking at purchasing and a bit worried they haven't got the apps, don't worry, they are coming along at some point shortly.
Probably got time for one more question.
iPlayer is back on them.
Yeah, one more question, anyone, Jane?
Yeah, I've got a quick question here. There's a couple of others we'll have to get back to later, but it's regarding the G10 series. Does the bracket come with it, or what do you have to purchase?
Yeah, so the G10, the wall bracket is supplied because it's that flush wall bracket which gives you no gap. It comes in the box. So the G10 doesn't come with any feet to stand it. So it is a wall-mounted TV, and the bracket and everything you need is supplied in the box with it. So it's all pretty much ready to go to wall mount. But it allows you to get that completely flush, no gap thing at just 19.9 mil, but everything is supplied.
Great. Well, we can follow up those questions, can't we, James? If you save on to them, we'll get the guys to feed you back the answers, the ones we couldn't have time to answer. Well, thanks. I now feel very immersed in LG's TV technology. I'd like to thank my guest, Dean from LG and Paul from AWE. If you missed any of the sessions from earlier in the week, don't forget you can access them all on catch up. Thanks for listening. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you for watching the AWE Breakfast Show.